Yo, check it out. We are Anti-Flag. I'm Justin Saying. This is Chris number 2. We're here with our good friend Chef Roberto. He's gonna be giving us a heads up on some great vegan treats for a vegan Thanksgiving this holiday season.
Yeah, we're gonna do a full vegan Thanksgiving. You're not gonna miss any meat. All of the staples will be there, plus a lot of fun things like wild mushroom gravy and stuff maybe your mom didn't make you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but I'm gonna get you guys to work. I'm gonna have you guys help me make some of this stuff.
I don't know if you should trust us with these,
These
knives and cleavers, but...
All right, here, see these little obtuse cuts? This is a maple glazed carrots that we're gonna make. It's got some maple syrup, little balsamic, salt and pepper, really easy.
Awesome.
And all you're gonna do is just try to make some cuts here, like just turn it like a quarter cut. And what happens is it makes these little sharp edges. These sharp edges caramelize in the oven, and that's when the sugars come out. It's freaking awesome. It's delicious.
Yeah, because I would just cut them round.
That would be wrong.
Yeah,
That would be wrong.
Yeah, that'd be wrong.
And that's a lesson learned.
I think I can handle this.
Our main course right here is going to be a stuffed acorn squash, organic, support your farmers markets. It's really important, but it's so easy too. You get 2 servings out of each one. So what I'm gonna have you do is just cut these in half.
Okay.
With that super sharp knife over there.
Yeah, so be careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not half.
Okay, how's that? Yeah.
I'm just busting your balls. Looks great. See how easy that is? Super easy.
Yeah.
And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a little sliver. So like this part will behave, but that'll never stand up. So you're just gonna cut a little sliver off so it stands up nice.
Give it a
Flat
haircut.
bottom. Yeah. Then you're just gonna scoop those out.
All
You
right.
Use your hands or a spoon, doesn't matter. It's so easy. You wanna drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over the top. So all you do is you're just gonna hit it with a little bit of salt and fresh ground black pepper.
Okay.
And 450 degrees, 20 minutes.
Perfect.
That's it. Normally we would do 40, but we're gonna do 20 minutes empty, so they look like this. Then we're gonna stuff them, do another 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Easy. Everything I do is super easy. You don't have to be a professional chef to do this stuff.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
All right, so this already has maple syrup, balsamic vinegar, salt, pepper, olive oil. And the fun thing is we just throw it on a sheet tray. Oh yeah, here. Here, just go ahead and dump that on there. Yikes.
Oh,
That's
a
all right.
little bit of a mess, a little bit of a
That's
mess.
all right. We want that juice. So then you want to go ahead and just spread them out evenly.
Okay. Yeah, those look beautiful.
Yeah. And so Thanksgiving, everyone started jockeying for the oven. The oven's never, there's never enough space. I do everything at 450 degrees. Everything. So it's super easy. One oven is plenty. So these just go in the oven. 450, really hot. Get that caramelization going on. And that's it. Super simple. Perfect. So these are our acorn squash. They've already been roasted for about 20 minutes. All we're going to do is just stuff them. These are our main course, so each person will get one of these at least. So that's it. So I'm going to give you that task. It's so easy. So what we have here, some wild mushrooms. I would say just buy whatever you can find at your local supermarket. Button mushrooms, we've got shiitakes, portobellas, oyster mushrooms, creminis, and gluten-free cornbread, which there's a recipe for, or you can buy like a vegan box of gluten-free cornbread. Super easy. Mix it all together, make it taste great, add some carrots and celery, like your regular stuffing, and then stuff them in here. Perfect. Super filling, really nutritious, really delicious stuff. So one of our veggies is good old-fashioned Brussels sprouts. And a classic way of doing Brussels sprouts is just like tossing them with onions and bacon, right? So we're kind of gonna do the same thing. I really love to shave these things. So what I do is we end up cutting them like this. I'm gonna give you that job.
Okay.
And that's it.
I'm gonna do it just like that.
Go for it. Yeah, you will.
Very slowly.
Okay. Now, if you don't want to take the time and do this, because I do a bunch of Brussels sprouts like this.
This is where we're going, where I go, which is you buy them like that.
Can you?
Yeah.
Nice. Or you can just
bag, which is terrible. I know, but I've saved my fingers.
Or you can just cut them in quarters, throw them in a food processor. They're gonna look a little bit more like coleslaw than this, but they're gonna taste exactly the same. So yeah, I just like to do it like that.
There we go. Is that shredded enough?
It's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, I mean it would take about 7 hours. My strong suit. You play our strong suits.
I'll just stick to plate in a punk pan.
Alright, so all we're gonna do is saute these up till they're wilted. We don't want to cook the hell out of them and lose all their nutritional value.
Okay.
Salt, pepper, olive oil. So all you're gonna do is add a little oil to the hot pan.
Okay.
So
How much oil do we want in here?
Just a good amount. This is a real non-stick pan right
that
here,
work,
so
or?
that's plenty.
Okay,
That's
great.
You can always add more. And then you're gonna just, once the oil gets nice and hot, just throw these guys in here.
Cool.
And you can do them in batches if you have a small pan like this. If you got a great big pan, you can just do them all at once. And all you want to do is keep moving them around.
Right.
Get a little bit of color on there.
Yeah.
Color is flavor. Color is caramelization of the natural sugars. So don't shy away from getting color on your food. We're gonna finish them with some shiitake bacon. The shiitake bacon is so fucking delicious. Try this stuff.
Check this out.
Basically bacon. When we cook vegan, we want to have those flavors that we're used to, right?
Yeah.
So what do you have with bacon? You've got fat, which you don't need because most people cook their bacon crispy anyway. You've got crispiness and smoke flavor, right? So we make this the same way. A little soy sauce, vegan Worcestershire, smoked paprika, a little liquid smoke, let it rest, throw it in a 500-degree oven. Almost burn it, but don't quite burn it. Just pull it out right before and yummers.
That's awesome.
All right, I want to talk about gravy because you have to have gravy at Thanksgiving, right?
Absolutely.
And that's usually made out of drippings from the turkey and all that kind of stuff, which we're not
Or a
doing.
full packet.
And that's wrong. Right? So embrace the fungus, okay? Mushrooms make the best gravy, okay? So you want to use a little bit of vegetable stock. I love to use this thing called no beef stock.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You've used it,
Yes.
got great flavor. Then we want to make it Thanksgiving-y, right? So we're gonna add those seasonings. People think that turkey has a flavor, it doesn't, right? It's thyme and sage and rosemary.
All the spices.
All the spices.
All the spices.
We throw that into the gravy. If you're gluten-free, you can thicken it with a little bit of cornstarch. If you're not, you can thicken it with a little bit of flour. All right. Then you throw in your mushrooms. This is great for people who hate to cut because you don't really have to chop these up. You can just smash them if you want. Get them in there, saute them, because everything's going to go in the blender.
Okay.
And you don't need to use a lot of flour or cornstarch because the mushrooms themselves are what's going to thicken the gravy.
Interesting.
Right? And you just tasted this earlier, right? You said
Yeah,
it was-
I mean, this is dope.
and you're a gravy connoisseur.
I am
He's
a
had
little bit.
many gravies.
Many gravies. From all
over the
This
globe.
is the best gravy you've
Yes.
ever had. Yeah. Another thing with the gravy, if you're
Yeah.
already cooking with a little red wine, you can throw some red wine in
Cool.
there. Doesn't
Yeah, that's a
need it.
really great cooking
but it's-
friend.
Absolutely,
red wine.
right? But
I
this
back
is
that.
yummy stuff. So there's a recipe for this. I think they're gonna friggin' flip out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
this is some
Yummy,
excellent
yummy
gravy.
stuff.
Well, we did this.
Good job, team.
Yeah. Happy
Killing it with
Thanksgiving,
some
everybody.
guidance.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite chefs here.
I think that just to bring it into the anti-flag world for a moment, we don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving as Thanksgiving is concerned, but we always enjoy being together with our family and being together with our friends, even if some of them don't see eye to eye with us on our political stances or maybe the way we eat, but we can always learn from each other and grow because of that. So I think that as we celebrate a calendar that brings us together, that's okay. But Thanksgiving as a whole is kind of fucked. So we just use it as an excuse to eat.
Yeah, it's a phrase that excuses a genocide, and we're not okay with that. But taking that a step further, we do live in a society where we have an economic system that celebrates excess and that celebrates kind of selfish mass consumption. And I think that,
And it
that
culminates on this day.
it does. It culminates
This is the
on- here it
Super Bowl
is.
of
This is
gluttony.
it. This is it. But one way that we can turn that around and bring something positive to it is when you think about what you're putting in your body, when you think about what you're going to eat, whether you're going to herd an animal or whether you're going to get outside of that world, find some empathy within yourself.
Yeah, and those decisions. I mean, go to the local farmer's market to find the things that you're going to use, support people that are in your own community, and while you do so, it can be delicious.
Yeah.
And I think that vegetarianism to me is that first step in breaking out of that economic system that encourages this mindless mass consumption. It also connects us to the empathy that we should have for other people. So it goes beyond animals. It's a step towards empathizing with people who have less than us and taking us into a greater sphere of having empathy for all living things beyond animals and people, but just the planet.
For sure. And I like to change people's minds with a fork. So like, besides cooking this great food for vegans, I love to cook this kind of food for non-vegans. So they go, yeah, that was good. That was really yummy.
Yeah, and for that we applaud your work. So thank you both. Thank you both for being here.
And we
today.
will not change people's minds with our forks, but hopefully with our
That's what we need you for.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll rock them, you feed them.
That sounds great.
All right.
What a great team. Let's eat, guys.
Awesome.
Let's
Hell
grab
yeah.
some plates and
Let's
eat.
do it. For more information on how to help animals, go to PETA2.org.
Peace.